I'm Lisa. I'm aging naturally. If you're on this journey and want to join me, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and like the video if you like what you see. So I just did my foundation and concealer. If you want to see that video, go ahead and watch the video before this. Now I'm ready to put some life back into my skin. So we're going to do blush and we're going to do bronzer. I don't know why, but I start with bronzer. This, and I do 2 for each. Crazy, I know. So this is, gosh, the contour stick from Anastasia Beverly Hills in Fawn. And I start there, only right here, kind of like just under the temple, my temple. I don't come out very far because that tends to look muddy on my skin. And then I use a Bailey stippling brush. I got this on Amazon. None of the products are sponsored or linked. I just want to show you what I like. So for the bronzer, I tap it in, the cream bronzer. I just tap, 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 because I don't want to take away the foundation that's underneath. So I tap, kind of tap it in, bring it a little forward and up. Okay, and then once it's tapped in, I do lightly go and buff it in, very lightly. Same thing on this side. Tap, 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 up, a little out, a little, and then buff it out very lightly. Okay, so that's step 1 for me. Then I go in with the Milani bronzer. This is Sun-Kissed Silky Matte. I use a couple different brushes. The first brush is a BK Beauty 109. It's like the mini 101. And I put a little on my brush and I kind of go exactly where I put the other one. And this being a powder will seal it in. So at first I tap, tap, tap. There's a theme here. And then I lightly, very lightly, grabbing my mirror, very lightly and then I do the same thing with the other side. Put it in the same place. Tap, tap, tap. I don't come out very far because that would look muddy on me. And then I blend. Now, if you like more bronzer than that, go for it. Then I take a little bit on the head of my brush and I just kind of do down the sides of the nose. A little bit, not a lot. I just like the way that looks. Then the last step for my bronzer is to kind of go all over the face. And I use this fluffy tapered Luxie brush, and it's called Tapered Face. And I put a little bit on my brush, tap it off, and I do dab it into my hairline. I don't need a lot of it, but I like the way it looks. And then I go where everything was before. Just kind of making it all blend together. And I go on to blush. I start again with a cream blush. Right now I'm using the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush. It doesn't even have a name. I think I received it as a sample when I got a bunch of stuff at Ulta. So I go in with my finger, put a little bit on, I dab it below and to the right of my eye and up. Below and to the right and up, because I want to lift again. I feel like my face is dragging down, which is fine, but I want to enhance what I have. So I do this. Then I take my Bailey brush And as before, guess what I'm going to do? Dab and then blend very lightly. So dab, 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 blend very lightly. And I do, with my blush, go a little bit farther in front under my eye because I like bringing life to my face, and I think my face needs that. So I will kind of go in and then up, in and then up. That's how I do that. Same thing with the other side. Dab, dab, dab. Very lightly. In and up, in and up. And of course, my hair gets stuck in it, and that's okay. Time for powder blush. I like this NYX Buttermelt blush, and this one is my butter half. It's fun to say. And this is heavily pigmented, so be careful. Remember, where you first touch your face is where most of the product is going to be deposited. So I don't go right in on the apple of my cheek. I do pretty much the same as I did with the cream. And I start here and then work my way in. So for this, I like to put a little on my brush and then tap it off on a Kleenex below. I feel like that's a better way to make sure you're not getting too much on your brush. So here we go. Ready? I do it a little higher as I did with my cream than the bronzer. The bronzer goes kind of just below my temple, and the blush goes almost right at the temple. So I start here, dab, 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 and then blend, blend, blend. And same thing on the other side. Dab, 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 and lightly blend, lightly blend. That's what I do. Then, two more things. For a little trick, I take my foundation brush and I do dab along the edges to make sure there's no less of a line of demarcation. And finally, I take my powder brush that you saw me use in the previous video. It's the Beely tapered brush, and I use my powder, swirl it around, tap, tap, tap. And before, while I did the T-zone, now I am going on to the color I just put in my face, and I'm kind of buffing it out a little bit. Makes it look a little more seamless. And there you have it. I don't put bronzer on my jawline or underneath. I know a lot of people do that. And again, this is an example of doing what you feel comfortable doing. For me, in everyday life, when I pass a mirror and I see when I've put contour or bronzer on my jawline, it looks ridiculous. It looks heavier for some reason to me. What about you? Do you contour or put bronzer on your jawline or your neck to disguise that? I don't. It's not worth it to me. For me. But you do you. That's the beauty of makeup. Remember, there are no rules. You do what's fun for you and what you love. So thanks for joining me today to apply bronzer and blush, and subscribe if you want to go on this natural aging journey, and like this video if you liked it. See you soon. We're loving almost every line.